Hey, this is Joel with the Joel and Ivan podcast. Before we get into our first ever episode, I just wanted to take a few seconds and thank you for clicking on that thumbnail and giving us a chance. This first episode is really more of an introduction to who we are and how we think. We're a Christian and an agnostic, and in this podcast we're going to be talking about relationships, politics, pop culture, current events, and social issues that really affect all of us. So sit back, put on your thinking cap, and, bear with us while we stumble through our first episode. Thanks. Enjoy the show.
How's it going, bro?
Perfect.
That's good, man. Perfect is good.
Yeah, it's kind of one of my words when I'm
Perfect.
chatting. That's like my answer for everything. Oh, perfect.
So, our first podcast, bro.
It
You
is.
excited?
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm actually getting hot, but like in the body sense, not
Okay.
emotionally.
Good. I was like, whoa. It's not that kind of podcast.
Too early for that, right?
Yeah, it's not that
Or
kind
it's a
of
family
podcast.
podcast.
Right.
So,
Well,
it's kind of hot in here.
yeah.
It's in the environment.
Yeah. The fish tank was making too much noise, so we had to close the door. So abortion, easy subject, light. Nothing too deep.
Yeah.
Abortion, right?
Politics or religion, right?
So anyway, for those of you who saw in the intro, I'm a former, or how should I say?
I think former sounds good.
Yeah, but I forget the word, but we'll leave it at that. Former Christian, now agnostic theist, I would say, because I still, believe that there is
Something out there.
something out there, that there is a
Or some things out there.
right.
You said it.
A more advanced being or beings that created this world. I don't think that we just I don't believe in the Big Bang. It's like boom, this happened. Somebody, the Big Bang had to come from somewhere, right? So anyway, I don't believe that there isn't anything. I don't believe that after we die we're
Going somewhere else.
worm food. No, I do believe. I believe.
Okay,
I believe that our soul is eternal, right? So, we're living the human experience.
So, would you
Actually,
say
let's get into that a little bit before we dive into the abortion.
Would you say that it's reincarnation?
It could be. I think we're here to learn and grow.
Mm-hmm.
So I think depending on how much you progress, how much you grow during this lifetime, your soul or your subconscious will decide what's next.
Okay.
Obviously we're not aware of that when we're born, or even now. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how many lives I've had. I don't know if I was a bird or a dog or whatever, because
So
I think
if you had a choice, what would your next life would be?
I don't know, because
Would you be a
honestly,
human being? Or a creature?
Obviously, no. I could say, oh, I want to be rich, or I want to be,
Wealthy.
yeah, wealthy, a billionaire, whatever. So, money, money's not the only thing, but it does solve most problems. Only people who haven't had to deal with the lack of money can say that money is not important. But anyway, I could say, okay, I want to come back and I want to be, super rich. But honestly, that doesn't, because of life experiences.
It doesn't fulfill.
No, I'm still ambitious, but for other things. Before it was like, I gotta do this and that and grow this business so that I can have money to buy this car or that, watch or whatever. Now, not so much. Now it's more of, what am I going to leave for my kids?
But if you did have the money, would you buy that car and that
watch? Of course. I'm not against money.
Yeah.
Obviously if you can afford it, more power to you. But, so,
I think in my next life, I want to be a hippie.
A hippie? You could do that now.
And or an Amish hippie, like live
Amish hippie.
away from
Interesting.
away from from like,
Well, if you had money, you could do that
an urban society, just live out there in the
and be
boonies
comfortable.
with the candle and build my own house and
Okay, well, you don't need money for that.
yeah.
You can just go. And
I just want to not the ambition, because I like to be ambitious, but I just don't want to have that stress, because it kind of makes it stressful when there's the lack of money, but then there's also stress when you do have the money.
Right.
I don't know if it's ever happened to you.
Well, I mean, I think it depends. And we're kind of getting into another subject here, but I mean, it depends.
Let's roll with it.
It's on you, really. I mean, for example, if I were to win the lottery and I was a millionaire, right? Or, a millionaire, let's say that. I made enough money or I won enough money to really change my life. Let's say $100 million or whatever. I could choose to invest that, live off the interest and that's it, not worry about anything. Or I could choose to start a company or do this project or do that project, and then you're going to be stressed because you're taking things on, right? So responsibility, people are going to, need to be in touch with you and ask for your help and things like that. So,
that's why I want to become an Amish hippie.
Right. Or like I said, I mean, you could just,
put it in the bank and let it
put it in the bank. You're going to lose money, but with inflation,
pay them to hold it.
Yeah. But, I would say, invest it somewhere. I got to turn off this, put it on do not disturb, this beeping.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. Sorry. But,
I thought it was like a fire alarm or something like that going off.
No.
I was about to run out.
But
can I just say something before we continue?
Of course, bro. It's a podcast. That's kind of what it's all about.
I mean, some of us are going to watch us, but some of us are only going to listen to us, right? So I'm Ivan on the other side of Joel, right? And I'm the Spanish-speaking version of the podcast. And for me, like these 5 minutes already is nerve-wracking.
I mean, you're gonna get used to it. Practice makes perfect, right? I mean, would you say that Spanish is your first language?
I would say so.
Okay. I mean, I would say English was mine, even though I probably spoke. My first word was probably in Spanish, but ever since I can remember, it was English.
We kind of you are
American.
Born in the States. I was born in Mexico.
Citizen. Mm-hmm.
So I was brought to the States when I was 6.
Okay.
So my first language was Spanish, but really I didn't learn to read or write Spanish before I learned to speak English.
Right.
So practically I learned to read and write on my own, but English would be like my second first language.
Right.
I don't know if that made any sense, but
I understand.
Like if I'm going to fill out any forms, like legal forms, I'm going to do them in English.
In English, okay.
If you give me a legal form in Spanish, I don't even understand what they're trying to say.
See, well, that's weird because I'm the same way. If I see something like a form in English, I'll just kind of skim through it and I'll know what it is. But in Spanish, I'd have to really focus and think about what it's saying.
I don't like filling anything in Spanish.
Okay.
I don't, because I don't understand it. Just because I was, my comprehension was built on the English language.
Right.
But if I was going to read the Bible, I said Bible. Can we say Bible?
Yeah, it's Christian and agnostic.
Oh,
dude.
that's...
You kind of got caught up in the moment and you forgot where you were.
Yeah. Or I was thinking something else. Anyhow, if I'm going to read the Bible, I can read for the Bible's sake. I can't read it in English for nothing. I don't comprehend it. I don't get it as I do as in Spanish. So anyhow, that being said, this first or second and third, episode is going to be kind of like, I'm going to stutter a little bit and I'm going to be kind of slow because...
That's fine. Bear with this.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, dude. But anyway, did I answer?
Yeah.
What would I do in my next life?
You would be a millionaire.
No, like I said, I mean,
I got nothing against
I wouldn't complain if that was what
I would also be a millionaire, but like a hippie.
I think, and I would hope that you grow with each existence,
Well, I mean, if we consider the term or the concept of a hippie. What is a hippie? It's someone that is careless, carefree.
Carefree, I would say. Yeah.
So be carefree. So if you're a millionaire, you kind of
It's
are
like
carefree, right?
Peace and love. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it depends on what you're doing with
I
your
don't know.
life.
I would have like a bunch of outreach programs.
Mhm.
You know, that's what I would do with my money, and I would
Stress.
enjoy it every day.
I mean, some people would say I'm antisocial, but
But why would they say that?
because I am. But I've always said the more people you know, the more stress you're going to have in your life, right? Because I'm antisocial, but I'm also very empathetic. So when people I know and care about are going through something, I feel it, you know.
So you're selective, not antisocial,
No,
right? You
not selective, because if I meet you and we get along, you know, there's chemistry, then I don't really care, you know, what you do.
All right,
who
so
you
we've
are,
known each other since we're 9 years old.
right?
Okay, so in that lifespan of, 10 years, because we're 19
Right.
in the
Sure.
heart. So anyhow,
At least my mind tells me I'm still 19. My body
yeah,
says otherwise.
my knees tell me I'm like 40.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so in the lifespan, there's been people in and out of your life.
Right.
I wouldn't consider myself antisocial,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like very limited, not selective, because I could accept anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just not gonna let them in. Like
Right.
if I would tell you how many people have been to my house,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like close to none. You know, if it wasn't for like a church activity,
Right.
other than just family. I mean, I could literally tell you like our childhood friends
Mm-hmm.
are the only ones that have been in my house.
Okay. I
And
haven't been here. Well,
you
I
haven't?
mean, are you talking about your house now or
Grown up.
Yeah.
So that's how antisocial I would be. But
Right.
I'm not antisocial. It's just I don't have the room for other people in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know if that may just...
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the more people, you know, you can know a lot of people, but I mean, people really in your life. Like, for example, I would consider you my closest friend, even like a brother to me, right? And I mean, we see each other once a week, maybe. Before we started to, we got together to do this project. I mean, how long had it been since we talked? I mean, and we've gone years without really
so it was
speaking.
probably like 2 years?
Something like that. But what's cool about it is that, we can meet up again, and it's like it's the same.
It's like we press pause.
Yeah, it's like we
know?
press pause because, I mean, obviously there were a lot of years, 10 years that we were, saw each other pretty much
Yeah, that
4 days out of the week, So that built something,
Yeah. And it's stuck. It's
and
stuck.
So, I'm happy about that. And
So-
but anyway, because I feel there's going to be people that are like, you still haven't answered the question, because I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
So in my next life, I don't know. I don't know what I would want to do. I would hope that by the time I die, I'll know.
Okay, so the next life would be a continuation, or is like scrap and start from...
No, it's both. It could be both, because physically, I mean, as
So
here in this world, like in this existence,
Yeah.
yeah, you're starting from anew, because
So
although
I wouldn't
there's
take all my experience like from now.
Uh-huh.
That's just like everything I learned in this life. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
apply it, or that wouldn't be part of my luggage to the next
I
existence.
mean, in general, I think that's the way it is. But I mean, there have been people, that you hear about that have like past life memories or experiences or that can connect to their lives, to their former
existence.
selves, their former existences. And, my hope is to get to that point. Like if I was financially independent, wealthy, and I didn't have to work, I would probably dedicate myself to spiritual growth. I still try to do it now whenever I get a chance through meditation. You would call it prayer. To kind of connect and learn from that being or God, as you would
Yeah.
say, you know. So, and my hope would be that, yeah, by the time that this physical body is done, my soul, my subconscious can say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do now. You know, it'll be like kind of when you go to sleep and you wake up, you know, which it might be. I mean, who knows? We can get, you know, really, really deep in the weeds about this, but, you know, one thought would be, how come when you woke up this morning, what if you're in a new life, but you brought all your memories from another existence?
No,
or stuff
and
like that,
I could very well see that, you know, that we do, you know, make each day a lifetime, you know, like,
yeah.
so if we learn from our mistakes, you know, today should be a perfect day,
Mhm.
you know, in essence.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
If you know that you got a bunch of things to do, you know that you got to get up earlier,
all right.
but we still get in, you know, sleep late, wake up later,
All right.
and we didn't learn from that last.
Right. Well, there's people that don't learn, you know, or really don't pay attention or don't, you know, put in the effort, because they just don't care. You know, I think we've been through that, you know, we've had interesting lives, to say the least.
To say the least, I would say so.
And, but you know what? And now it's funny because those things seem, at the moment, it was like super tragic, super strong. And now it just seems like a memory.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
now this is gonna be a question you gotta answer like very transparently, or like as honest as possible.
Mhm.
And it's kind of controversial because my answer would kind of be controversial. But
Mhm.
would you change anything in your life?
Jeez, that's a difficult question because, I mean, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
There was a time where I would have said, yeah, you know, depending when I was low and I was like, yeah, man, screw this. Let's
On to the
I'd
next.
change everything, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's separate, but, different, but, geez, I don't know what I would change. Well, no, not that either. I mean, because there's things that I'm struggling with now
Yeah.
from my past, but just like that past is connected to negative things in my present, it's also connected to positive things in my present. So if I remove that past, I remove both the positive and the negative. And in this case, in what I'm thinking about, which is right now probably the most bothersome thing in my life, the positive far outweighs the negative. So, I mean, no, bro.
Okay, so
I
now
wouldn't change anything.
from that one situation that you were talking about, I might know what you're talking about. I might not know, but anyhow, you learned something from that.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about my first marriage.
So you did learn something from that.
But yeah, obviously.
Okay, so this is my thing.
And the positive would be my daughter, and the negative would be all the struggles with her mother to this day. Her mother is being nice.
Yeah.
I won't call her anything else.
I know how that goes. I know how that is. Believe me, I know how that is times 3. Anyhow, because I've been thinking about that lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's been in my head lately. Like, I don't know why I've been dwelling on it and actually dwelling on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a Christian, I have to believe that all my mistakes, you know, are sinful and are bad,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't know if you could rejoice in your faults,
Mm-hmm.
but anyhow, the person who I am now, and I'm not saying this like theoreticamente, and I'm not saying it like
In theory.
yeah, I'm not trying to be like, oh, like I said, there's another word for that. Anyhow, like really who I am now,
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm trying to be, it all has to do with what I've been through.
Okay. Yeah.
So I couldn't be anything else. So there was a point in my life where I was regretting a bunch of stupid things. Is that a Christian word?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, if we're not gonna get marked as
Religious?
adult content for the words you use, I think stupid is fine.
Okay.
I don't think that's bleep worthy.
Yeah, because I don't think there's another word to say it other than stupid decisions I made.
Right.
And there's a lot of them that I regret, and there's some of them that I just wish I had never, ever done them. But then, God has changed things in my life and in my surroundings or with the people around me that I've been giving like 1,000 chances. And this last chance, I'm making it count.
Right.
I'm making everything that I can to, live up to the expectation. But like I say, lately I've been dwelling on it, and I'm just thankful that I lived what I lived. Although some of those moments were like, here, this is where it ends. I don't want any more of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now looking back, it's like, I'm not glad it happened, but I'm thankful that I'm here and that it was me who went through it. I God doesn't give you a burden. Is that how you say it in English?
Yeah.
That you can't handle. So if it was brought upon me, it was for a reason, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it count. That's why I was asking in your belief system, there's a life after this, and if I could take like all my experiences and start, not starting from scratch. I mean, I'm gonna be like the smartest 5-year-old.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like the smartest teenager ever.
Yeah.
All the girls are gonna be after me. I'm gonna be popular in high school.
Right.
But I guess it doesn't work like that. Huh? You got to start from scratch.
It's funny because you could say, okay, I'm hunching. How should I say it? I lost my train of thought here. Anyway.
It's that thing that distracted me.
Yeah. No, it's kind of leaving space for an edit, but I think we're good. Okay, because we're going a little long on time. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Were you listening?
Yes, test? I was.
So where was I?
I have a really bad case of ADHD.
Okay.
No, seriously. I mean, I could be sitting here and I have to
right.
things.
Okay, now I remember. You said you'd be the smartest. You'd be the smartest 5-year-old and all that. Okay. Yeah. See, I do listen, but I think it could be, for example, your subconscious or your subconscious saying, you know what, if you unlock all those memories and all that knowledge, at least in the human experience at that age, how would that impact the rest of your life? What if you know everything you know now at 5 years old? You could, the positive would be like, well, by the time I'm 40, I'm going to be like a super mega genius, right? Yeah. I'll make Einstein and all them look stupid. But there's that word again. But who knows, bro? There's a lot of things that I think we'll find out. Me, in my case, you might say, okay, eventually I'll ask God, but I try to do that, every day through meditation and not per se God of the Bible.
If you want, I could ask him for you.
Please do. And well, that's my goal, to really grow, and by the time that this experience is over, be able to continue it and not, I wouldn't say restart, because I think you do kind of pick up where you left off, not so much with your memories and your understanding, but your situation in life, where your subconscious is going to say, okay, this is the life I need to move forward in this existence, So
now, because it's kind of interesting to me, and I've never sat and talked about it. Mm-hmm. This being my first time ever.
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense what you're saying. Like, every day is a new life.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I say, you could whatever happened yesterday, you could make up for it, or make it better today.
Mm-hmm.
And that there is what keeps you growing.
Yeah.
You know, so I like to think like that. You know, I like to think, today is a new start.
Mm-hmm.
However, as a human being, it's kind of hard to let go of the hardship.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, for example, things you did yesterday are going to affect what happens today. So we still got to, those things come along. It's not like a complete new start, but you're refreshed. It is a new day.
It like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
It's
my
like,
life
somebody,
motto.
remember what you did yesterday?
No, nothing.
Nope. Today's a new day.
Yep. It's in the past.
Yeah.
If it's not in the history books, it never happened.
Well, I mean, we're doing this now, so kind of
It's gonna stay, right?
Yeah. If
So
you ever mention
yeah.
anything,
Yeah. No, that's why I wear different hats.
Okay.
So that wasn't me. Look,
Yeah.
that's not the hat I'm wearing now.
do the bump. There you go.
Excellent. He is awake.
Yeah, he is awake. We didn't put him to sleep yet. Okay. I had an idea what we could do now is since this is the English, we're doing both English and Spanish. So this is the English. We haven't really done an intro or we didn't get too much into what this is all about.
Yeah.
So I'm Joel.
I'm Ivan.
This is Ivan. And we both grew up in church, in the Christian church. And we each had our path. We from the age of 9 to 19, more or less.
Yeah.
We lived the same experience as far as church goes. And then from there, we kind of both went off on different. I remember I moved churches and kind of still stayed in the church until about, I'd say, till about 30. So still another 11 years.
All right. So you went to church like religiously went to church
Yeah. No,
You were-
when what happened, I was still like, oh Lord, please God, this, right? I told you when that change happened. But anywho, that's what this podcast is going to be about. Pretty much just those 2 points of view, right? Well, now I'm agnostic, a theist, agnostic theist, which basically believes that there is
Say it again.
something. Agnostic theist.
Agnostic
Or theist,
or agnostic?
Agnostic.
Agnostic.
I mean, you can pronounce it agnostic too, I guess. But I'm not completely agnostic to where, there's no way we can prove either or, because I've been through stuff, and I've had experiences. So I know there is something, but I don't agree with that God, the God of religion, Jesus Christ and the cross and baptism and all that stuff, even though I went through it, but I don't believe in it anymore. So that's kind of the differences we're going to go through here. And we're going to talk about, it's not all going to be religious. It's just basically stuff about life, right? I mean, we're obviously going to get into, things that do affect
Impact.
your life more, that are more religious, I guess you could say, religiously controversial or at odds with each other. Like, for example, abortion, homosexuality, drug use. I mean, all that good stuff. The stuff that makes life worth living. But so yeah.
So
We're gonna get into
it's
all
not
that.
the point, and it's not my job to convince you otherwise.
No, it's not a change my mind thing.
But the thing is like, it's my job to do it. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a true Christian if I wasn't trying to get you back on track.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, that's fine. Well, what I'm doing here is basically sharing my point of view. If it's of any use to you or to you, then I'm happy, right? But it's really just something that I felt I wanted to do for a long time, because if not, I feel like, darn, I went through all this stuff for nothing. Obviously, and to be with it, really to have like-minded people that I can talk to, because right now most of people in my life just kind of don't share the same way of thinking that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little difficult to relate to them. Other than my wife, obviously. It's a little difficult to relate to them and to kind of express myself, because, you could just either their eyes go blank, when I start talking about things that really matter to me. So I don't. So that's kind of the purpose of this. It's kind of therapy for me. And if I can help anybody else, if it's of use to anyone else, then, I'm happy about it.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be people that are going to relate, and more than relate, they're going to take something from that, because you said it, you didn't go through it for no reason.
Right.
Nothing happens for no reason.
Right.
And it's just, you were going to say, you said, well, I want to know what that well meant.
I was going to say that things do happen for no reason, but I kind of like instantly changed my mind because I thought about something else. Because, yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying as no. I think what you're saying as religious, but then I changed it in my mind to not religious, which is what I was saying, that your subconscious is kind of guiding you and taking you through a path. So maybe not everything that happens in your life is for a reason, but your life in general is.
The whole picture.
So, yeah, the bigger picture, the whole picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Well,
well,
amen.
If the Bible's, if we go to the Bible, not even a leaf of the tree falls without God's will. And if it's God's will, it has to have a reason.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it on the next episode. Maybe not the next one, but one of them. All right.
So, yeah, I mean, at least, I'm not going to say this to give anybody a reason, the right, no, el derecho, no. Okay, I'm going to say
the
this.
right.
Yeah, I'm like, prove myself wrong. I just lost my thought right there.
I'm talking about there's a reason for everything. And
yeah,
I'm not going to give anyone the ability or the right to prove you wrong, or the opportunity to prove you wrong. Or
that's what I want to believe.
Right.
Whether you could prove it wrong or right. Mm-hmm. Even if you could prove it wrong, I'm still going to believe it.
Well, you got to go somewhere else, because I'm not interested in proving you right or wrong.
Like, or anybody out there.
At least not on purpose.
Try. In fact, that being said, are we gonna take comments from people? Or
we'll answer them. I mean, we're not live, but I mean, yeah, we want people to comment and subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff. Right?
Can they suggest?
This will be over before it even begins.
Are they going to be able to suggest?
The
topic.
I mean, if you guys want to hear a certain topic, yeah, we'd love to hear it and share our points of view.
Perfect.
Cool.
So, yeah, that being said, I'm the Christian one on this side.
Agnostic
Can I say though, I am a Christ follower. I am considered, because I follow Christ, and his teachings, I am a Christian, but I would want to clarify that I'm not the fanatic or the religious type of Christian that we're used to. Mm-hmm. My life was...
We just lost all your audience. No.
There they go.
It's okay. You know what? This is for the people who want to listen to it. So.
No, and because there's, I know there's going to be people wanting to know my how far I believe believe myself a Christian, mm-hmm. But then there's a whole lot of other people that think like I think. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not a fanatic of the every Sunday go to church deal.
Right.
But I'm very convicted, or my convictions are very strongly rooted to where I believe in Christ. I believe he did exist. Mm-hmm. I believe he's like more our savior rather than just a prophet. Mm-hmm. And that's a conviction I have in my heart. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, I mean, I don't want you to think that I'm like this light Christian. I'm very Christian, because
you're not Christian light or Christian zero.
Yeah, no. I'm like the red tag Christian, because if it wasn't for Christ, my addictions would still be in my life.
Okay.
Because I kind of just turned them over, like literally said, I can't take this anymore. Mm-hmm. And boom, they were gone.
Oh, well, leave it at that.
Si estuviéramos hablando en español, I could go. I believe it. I believe 100%.
I mean, we'll worry about
Editing
editing
and stuff like that.
because we're going like way over time. And for those of you who are thinking, why am I so concerned about the time? Is because these cameras that I bought, I won't mention the name, but they have a no, dude. I don't
Maybe
get
somebody
sued. I don't
out
have
there-
any money yet.
No, but maybe somebody out there wants to sponsor us. I don't know. You've seen all those podcasts. Oh, this
Right,
camera
dude,
was
but-
sent from this place. And
Yeah,
this.
well, wait till we have at least 10 subscribers.
Well, there's 3 of us here now.
Right. And I'm not even subscribed yet.
Is there a page yet?
No, we don't even have the channel yet. That's going to come. By the time they see it, there is
Okay,
going to
then
be a
we're
channel
good.
so
Okay,
that you
perfect.
can, hit subscribe and like and get the notifications and all that good stuff. Anyway,
it's gonna be-
but
it's
these
gonna be
cameras
a
have
good
a time recording limit. So at half an hour, they stop. And that was kind of my distraction earlier because Gabriel had to go and press a button on all the cameras. So
Gabriel Iglesias.
right. No, my dad taught me names do not translate. So if you're Gabriel in Spanish, if that was your name, then that's your name.
Gabriel.
Yeah, it's not Gabriel. So I mean,
Oh my
it
God!
was-
With that being said, I mean, what does it say? What's this? It's Joel or is
it's
Joel?
Joel and Ivan,
Joel Ivan.
and it's Joel Ivan. Here it is, though. Here it is. No, the reason my name is Joel, but the reason I tell people Joel is because I hate being called Joel. And
They
some
do
people, some people can't pronounce Joel. They'll go Joel or Joel, which is my daughter's name, and which is Joelle, like Danielle, but
Okay.
Joel. Anyway, yeah, that's why in English I'm Joel, unless you can pronounce Joel.
No, it's because I
I'm Joel.
have a hard time. Like I've always had a hard time trying to pronounce, or in my head, I sound funny in my head trying to say Joel.
Oh, well, you can say Joel though, right?
But is
can
it coming
pronounce it.
through? Joel?
Yeah,
Or
it's
am
like
I
Joe, but with an
Joel.
L at the end. Joel.
It's like me, like forever it was like Eduardo, and I fought everybody who tried to, say Eddie or Edward. I was like, what would fight it? I said, I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm Eddie. That's it. Just call me Eddie. Don't worry about my last name because it's harder than my name.
Well, that's more of a nickname, I guess you could say, or I guess a nickname. But anywho,
But everybody would chop it up. So,
all right. So I mean, I guess we could.
agnostic Christian,
That's what it is.
are we going to try to convince people? Or are we just going
Yeah,
to...
we already said, man. We're just sharing. We're not changing anyone's mind here. At least not on purpose. But
Yeah.
maybe
I mean,
unintentionally.
if it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens, man. If it makes your life better, then
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's about,
making it...
making it better, making it easier for people to understand that they're not the only ones going through stuff. I mean, like I said, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff we went through in our lives. So, I mean, drug use, prisons, all kinds of good stuff.
Isn't that the oddest thing, though, and ironic? Like, we're both raised in church, but yet we could talk about, drug, alcohol, and prison.
Well, I mean, when we get into it,
mean-
my hypothesis or my theory is that closed off or protected youth led to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
The forbidden
Yeah.
fruit, and then once you get a taste, So rather than
Like, let me get
that's I mean we're kind of skimming through a bunch of episodes we could do here, but
No, it's. I think it's a nice intro. I mean,
To what?
people are going to get the feel of what this is going to be all about.
yeah. I mean, this will be our first kind of like catch-all,
Yeah,
kind of introduction to our podcast to us. But yeah, I think that if you kind of grow up in a bubble and you don't know what you're up against, one of the topics we're going to talk about is masturbation, right? I mean, when
What?
well, I know you don't know what that is. You've never done that.
Okay,
But
Say it again.
I'll enlighten you. No,
But now,
and I mean,
is
growing
that-
up, oh, that's the devil. That's a sin, right?
But is that a word that's going to demonetize us?
Masturbate? I don't think so. I hope not.
No, let's look it up.
I mean, I'm not saying But
why wait to the next lifetime to be a millionaire? Why can't we do it now?
well, I mean, that's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually up
Subscribe.
to YouTube, but um, anyway, it was a sin, right? It's a sin. Oh, I mean, if you want to see, a nude magazine or one of those magazines, pornography. Oh my God, it's a sin. You're going to hell. And every Sunday, when you're going through puberty, you're like, oh Lord, please forgive me because I had impure thoughts. That's natural. That's
remember?
nature. I remember all kinds of
No,
stuff.
you remember we're in my house, in our bedroom, and it's like, I think it was
In your bedroom.
Andy, Felipe.
Make it sound weird in our bedroom.
Yeah. I said our?
Yeah, you
In
said,
my
we're
bedroom.
brothers. So.
So it was Andy, Felipe, it was my brother, it was you, it was me.
Mm-hmm.
And for some
And
reason,
your mom walked
I had a magazine, but
Yeah,
you were holding it when she walked in.
yeah. His mom walked in, and I don't.
You were
Did she
holding
know
it.
her? I don't think she knew. I think
No,
she just kind of
no,
walked in. She
watch.
saw it, and
She
she just
walked
kind of
in.
froze, right?
Yeah, she walked in and then she closed the door.
Okay.
And then she opened it back up and she stretched her hand like,
Yeah.
And then,
but
you
I
were
told her, like,
holding
you want it or you want to see it or something like that. I remember now.
Oh
But
my
anyway,
God.
that's nature, bro. That I mean, I wish that my dad or somebody else would have said, you know what, that's natural. You're gonna go through these urges. It's a phase. Don't if you're going to do it, I'm not saying, oh, when my son goes through that, I'm going to, here you go.
Here's a subscription.
Here's a subscription.
Well, yeah,
here's,
nowadays
here's
it's
the
like-
website, I'm not even I'll block him out until a certain age. And then I'll kind of just like, okay, he's going to do what he's going to do. But I'll be there, to guide him. And I think starting now, I try, yes, of course I discipline him, but my son's 4 years old, but I want him to feel he can come to me, like right now he if he does something he shouldn't, he'll tell his mother, he'll go directly and, tell her, because he knows she won't do anything to him. But, I'm hoping that as he gets a little bit older, he'll be able to do that with me. He still does it. Like if I ask him, he'll tell me, the truth. But I want him to feel that he can come to me with anything when he's older and when he's going to go through those things that I already went through, so I hope that, when he becomes an adult, as far as like everything else in life, he can kind of pick up where I left off, because this even, everything we build is going to be for them to continue, him and his two sisters, and, or benefit from, if not continue. But,
I was going to say 2 sisters.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was going to ask you, like, you're going to quit at 3, but then you can't, right?
No, it's from my first marriage.
No, I mean, but you
So,
can't continue. I mean, you're like locked off.
I don't
already,
know
right?
why we have to talk about. I don't know what a vasectomy has to do with
No, because you
Christian
said
and
3,
agnostic.
and I was like, why couldn't you have more? Like I'm talking about abortion, and there's nothing against abortion in the Bible, but reproducing.
All right.
Or should I say it because I got like a bunch of kids?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But anyway.
On that same thought of talking to our kids, I have a 16-year-old
Mm-hmm.
boy, and he keeps asking me like, what's meth like? What's pot like? What does it feel? Or what are you? So when you take it, how do you feel? And these are questions that really challenge my convictions of a Christian.
Right. I mean, legally, I think you're clear because in our state, it's legal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is it legal for minors?
I don't know, but he keeps asking.
Probably not.
And I'm confronted, with my
Not
past.
not meth, marijuana.
Marijuana.
I don't know if that'll get us. You got to bleep that. I don't know if we could
Yeah.
even say that. We got to.
I
we
think
really
drugs.
gotta.
I think drugs isn't something that's going to demonetize us, but like being specific and saying meth or heroin, I think that will demonetize us. At least to what I was hearing last night or this
Okay.
morning on a.
Yeah, we got to figure
podcast.
that out. But
Figure out the words that, because I know I know the word pornography
you know what?
will take us.
Huh. Well,
Demonetize
you just demonetize. Well, I mean, we're not even. We don't even have a channel yet. So, but
So it won't block you, but it'll demonetize you.
right. But we don't. I mean, we're not going to be monetized until we get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours anyway. So,
Yeah. And
but,
that's going to be continuous during the 12 months.
Right. But then again,
So like you're going to get evaluated
it might not even push our content if there's stuff like that in it, right?
Yeah.
So what the heck are we going to call it then? I mean, it is what it is. You know? You know what? For
illegal?
No. I mean, let's just
Illicit?
no. I mean, let's just do what we do, bro. I mean, if this isn't for the money, you know. So let's do what we do, and
I was kind of hoping because I invested in.
So then, if YouTube doesn't monetize us for some reason, you know, we'll
if we could be transparent about it, I mean, I think we can make money otherwise.
Yeah, you know. But again, this is more. I mean, if we wanted to.
I mean, otherwise.
Our merch.
Yeah.
Our merch.
Wait for it.
Yeah, we'll my day job is printing. So personalizing all this kind of good stuff, T-shirts and stuff. You guys are.
I'm a bookie.
We'll talk about it later.
During the day.
Yeah.
And a Christian at night. There went my Christian audience.
Yes, they're gone. Bye-bye.
You said thank God?
No, they're gone.
Oh, I thought you said God. I was like, wait a minute, he did say God.
No, I'll say God a lot, and for you know, in order to make this less, you know, easier or less. What's the word? That's one thing about being bilingual and speaking both languages. Like, well, all of a sudden you forget one word. And
nah, dude,
like,
you can't do that to me because I kind of look up to you in that sense. You know?
I'm
You're
not
like,
perfect.
You're like my English speaking role model here. I'm liking this though. I am.
Cool.
I
mean, you're gonna get used to it, and you're gonna practice your English.
It makes me know that I know English.
Yeah.
That I could speak the language.
Yeah.
Because
you're gonna get better and better. We'll both get
better.
better.
I speak Spanish the whole week. I was like, English? What? Oh, I think I know it.
Yeah.
But like, it comes to me. It's just coming.
Right. Yeah.
So, do you think I could be a hippie, Amish hippie with an airplane,
You
like
can be
a private jet?
you want if you have enough money. I'll support you, bro.
Like
if I'm
listen,
know,
I'm not ambitious, but I gotta have like a jet and a big boat.
Yeah, it's
a
fine.
Yacht. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about a house, but if I have an airplane and a yacht, I'm set. But I'm not.
AKA
ambitious.
money traps.
Yeah, I'm not ambitious.
money pits. Yeah, the only way to make money or to not lose all your money on an airplane or a yacht is to rent it out to other people when you're not using it, because just simply storing it and maintenance on those things is like ridiculously expensive.
Because we were thinking of buying a house, right? But then
that would be better.
I saw. I think it was a meme or it was like something on TikTok or one of those platforms. I just said it, huh?
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. We can say it.
Anyhow, so I was scrolling and
we'll be on TikTok.
There's a family that they live on an RV, and they
in an RV.
That's what they do. They travel and work in it, and they're just like year round traveling different places. That's my goal.
Okay, yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I'd like to do that maybe. You know, a couple of weeks out of the year or something. But I mean, to live like that, You know what? I have traveled. Not because I wanted to, but you know, for work or just mainly for work. I've traveled. You know, not a whole lot through the U.S. and Mexico and stuff, but everywhere's the same, bro. I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Everywhere you go, the same.
I mean, it's different, but it's the same. You know.
But like for me, I've been settled for the last 7 years, and I've been happily settled for the last 7 years. Together for like we're going on 11, but like you know, my new lifestyle has been set for like the last 7 years.
Right.
But just waking up in a different city like every other month is just a feeling I'm not going to say I miss it, but if I could have it again, I'd do it.
Right.
But obviously with my family, now,
Right.
you know, like I take them in this huge.
That sounds horrible.
No, I mean, you know, you open your door, you're in the mountains, or you open the door to your
Bro,
RV, you're at the beach.
I like, well, yeah, that's different. But I mean, like to just live in a different place, you know, every week or every month even. I mean, I like to, I feel like having this. I'm going to go here and get it, you know. Now with Google and stuff, it's easier. But still, you know, I mean, you have your favorite spot for this, for that. You know, you kind of build your routine. You know, I don't like surprises. I don't like surprises. I don't like too many changes. I'm very malleable in that sense that you know, I can adjust to things, to different situations. I've had to in my life, but I don't like it. I don't like surprises. I mean, if you tell me, unless it's something I like to do and you surprise me, then cool. But if it's something that I don't like to do and you're like, hey, let's go do this tomorrow or something like that. Or worse, today or later. And if it's something that I'm not thrilled about, I'll be like, give me like a week's notice or something so I can mentally prepare for it. Like today, jeez. Well, they probably won't watch this. But we're going to go somewhere, right, for a play date for the kids. And I've been dreading it for like the last 3 days, bro. You know, nothing against, I just don't, I'm antisocial. I'm introverted, you know. Especially, I'm like, I don't know these people. What if I don't have anything in common with them? I mean, I know, you don't talk about religion, politics, or what is it, religion, politics, and what else?
That's it. There's two things. Or
religion, politics. No, there's one more. No?
No.
Anyway, that's the stuff I like to talk about, you know?
And you got me thinking there. But yeah, no, that's
the stuff I like to talk about. Because I feel that that's the stuff that affects my life, you know?
And everybody else's.
Yeah, those are the important things. So I think it's kind of like by design that people don't talk about that stuff, because then you might want to change something about it. You know, you might want to do something to change your situation. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I think if I go to work,
I don't do small talk.
I want to come home to my bedroom and find the bed in the same place where I left it. Mm-hmm. My wife, she has a
But it's okay if your bedroom is in a different city every month?
Yeah, that would be fine, because I know it's going to move.
As long as it's the same bedroom?
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that I want to go to work and come back and find the bed in the same wall where I left it.
Yeah.
My wife, she has the tendency to move stuff around.
Okay.
And she has to say something.
Okay.
Because if I go in there and I see things moved around, my brain just...
You don't like it.
It freezes. It's like, wait a minute.
It's too much.
Something's wrong. Like my brain takes a long time to process change. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, my other personality is like...
It's the same way, bro. It's just a different dimension of your...
like, you know, I like adventure. If it's got to be something appealing to me to stick to it. I have to be excited.
I mean, I like adventure movies. You know, I love watching movies. It's funny because I love watching movies because it really kind of transports me. So when I watch a movie, I can't be like that person that, let's put on a movie while there's like a million stuff going around. You know, if like you're at a kid's party or whatever, we're having a party for our kids, and some people sit down and watch TV, and like, there's no way I could do that because I'm hyper aware of my surroundings. So maybe that's why it's hard for me to focus when there's so much. But when I sit down, it's usually at night, you know, and that's why I feel like I'm hungover in the mornings, because I go to sleep really late, because that's the only time I get for me. You know, the rest of the time is either dedicated, you know, to work. When I get home, obviously I have to dedicate some time to my kids and then to my wife. So by the time they go to bed, which is around 9, the kids, and then my wife maybe around 11 or so, then now it's me time, right? And I'll watch a movie. So if I start watching the movie at 11:30, I don't go to sleep till like 2 o'clock, and then I gotta wake up at 6. 5 today. I woke up on a Saturday. I woke up at 5 o'clock on a Saturday, dude. That's how much I care.
No, I went to sleep at 4 and woke up at 7.
Yeah, see,
I should have woken up at
us.
6. I should have woken up at 6. I don't know for what reason I thought I was waking up at 7 Saturdays, but yeah, I wake up at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you're antisocial. If you gotta wait for your wife to go to sleep to have me time, like me, I could.
Well,
I could be away
definition.
from everybody, but like her, like I literally wake her up.
No, but by definition, me time is
you
by
time.
Yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm with my wife, then it's us time.
No,
right?
like me time for me is like me and her. Like
okay,
because I'm a night person. I'm not a morning person or a day person. That being said, you'll understand a lot of my old habits. Anyhow, I wake her up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll turn.
That's rude.
I'll turn something on Netflix and I'll wake her up and say, "Oh, there's this on. Oh, you're awake? No, I'm asleep. Oh, I thought you were awake. Wake up."
Right.
So
I thought you were awake. It's like, what was it? What's the movie I saw? There was a movie. I know which movie it was, but he calls his assistant like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, "Hello." He's like, "Oh, good, you're awake."
Yeah, like that. It's like that. But that's my alone time.
Yeah,
with her.
Right. Technically you're not alone, but whatever.
But that's
I enjoy time with her. Obviously, I wouldn't be married to her if I didn't. Right.
Yeah.
But I also like my alone time, and it actually took her some time because my wife is the complete opposite. She's super social. She loves parties. She loves talking to people and traveling and all that. It's like opposites attract is us.
So you're the husband that sits over there in the the couch while everybody's at the the kitchen talking.
And then but the problem is that people that are like me, introverted or introverts, we understand each other, and people like that don't understand us.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's being antisocial, or he's being rude, or he's being that. They don't understand that it actually takes a physical effort for me to be talking about like anything with other people. Unless it's something, like I said, that I'm really interested in, then yeah, I could talk on and on forever, right? But I'm not talking about stuff I don't want to talk about. It's just stuff that it's just like chit chat or small talk, or about events that are going on that really don't affect my life. It's difficult. I mean, working in sales, I can go, I'm acting. I think I'm a good salesperson because I can be charismatic. I'm a good listener. Like I said, I'm empathetic. I've studied, body language, all that stuff. So I'm a good salesperson, but I'm actually like, it's wearing me out to go out and talk to people like that. When I get done, I'm like physically tired and I need time alone to kind of recharge. And it took my wife a long time to understand that it wasn't that I didn't want to be with her. It was that I wanted to be alone. It had nothing to do with her. It was me. I wanted to be alone because I needed that time to kind of collect my thoughts, kind of recharge my batteries, and then, move on or continue.
I'm just going to say something because I realized why I'm not a good salesman when I could be very, very, it's not the word, but influential.
Convincing?
Yeah, I could convince, but I'm not a good salesman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I get in the conversation and not on the sale. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I could make public relations, but I can't close a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll focus more on the human side than the money side.
Right. But I think public relations is kind of selling because, if you're doing public relations, you want to get a certain point across or keep, move a certain narrative forward.
Es que movió la mano. I was like, where?
Okay. So.
Like, what?
Yeah.
So, hippie, Amish. I hope I'm not being offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive when I say.
No,
Amish.
it's not. It's not derogatory. I mean, it's just.
Actually,
in fact, I think it's a compliment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you would want to be,
Yeah.
if you had a choice, it's a compliment.
But I would wear deodorant.
That might be an insult. On that note,
No, you made me laugh. I wasn't saying it like that, but yeah.
No, I know. It's just
I used to live around them I used to live in Avondale. Avondale is part of, or it's real close to Kennett Square in Pennsylvania, and I was like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes away from Lancaster, where the Amish are in Pennsylvania. So I got to kind of take a peek of how they live, and we used to hire them because they're excellent carpenters. Ebanistas es la palabra en español, pero no sé en inglés. It's not a carpenter, but it's like they could work on wood like a woody woodpecker.
So they could destroy it. Okay, let me Ebanista. We'll
Ebanista, yeah, it's like.
I mean, we have the tablet here. Why not?
Look it up.
Use it so people understand. Because I think that little phrase or sentence that you spoke in Spanish, a lot of people are not going to understand what you said. Let's see.
It has to do with carpentry, but it's like a very skilled carpentry.
Well, ebanista is cabinet maker.
Yeah.
So it's
when we in Spanish say ebanista is somebody that is like an expert in like molding wood with his hands, not
Well,
with
it's a
tools.
carpenter, right? I mean, it's just they're using it's a different style, maybe. Because I'm kind of looking at here the difference between a like you said, ebanista or cabinet maker and a carpenter.
So while he looks that up, you could subscribe and hit the bell. So anytime we're on, you're gonna get a notice. Please do so. I'm trying to buy a private jet.
I mean, this is gonna be the most honest podcast, dude. That's good. I mean, people know where we're coming from, man. If you want to listen to us and you want to support us, you want to support his dream of getting a private jet.
I'm coming to you like straight out. I want to quit, my day job, which is the bookie. I want to quit running numbers. I just need a jet to do that. At nights, I want to go around the world preaching.
There you go.
No. I don't want to preach.
See, you're altruistic, dude. It's for the greater good.
Yeah.
You having a jet will, make the world a better place.
I'm not even going to charge nobody. In fact, here you go. Build a bigger church.
There you go.
There
you go.
I'm one of those. I was going to say pastor. Well,
Evangelist
that I could preach without a microphone much better than with a microphone.
Okay.
And a lot of people want to hold the microphone. I don't know what empowerment it gives them, but
I don't know.
I show up and I was like, unless it's a big church and I got to use it.
Right.
I'd much rather speak to a smaller audience without a microphone than a large audience with a microphone. There's, there are moments.
I mean, you're using a microphone here, but there's really
I'm
nobody.
not holding it though.
No, you're not holding it, and there's nobody here. But hopefully they'll.
But
there'll be a lot of people listening.
This year, like I live for this.
Right.
I'm the social one.
We're passionate about it.
I gotta be listened.
Yeah.
I gotta be heard.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of things I think, and there's a lot of things I know, and there's a lot of things I lived that have to go out there.
You know what? Like, I'm the type of person, like I said, I want to share my experiences and all that to see, if it's therapy for me, and then if it can help someone else, great. However, for a long time, like I said, I had this yearning or this urge to do this. And
say that word again.
Yearning.
Okay, yearning.
Yeah. Or this urge, like when you yearn for something, you really want it,
It kind of sounds like urinate.
Okay, yeah, it does. But anyway, I thought, who's going to care about what I have to say, you know? And then I watched all these YouTubers with, you know, over 1 million subscribers, and they're like, they thought the same thing, but it's a big world. And it's a big world. And there's over, 7 billion people in the world. So there might be somebody else, you know, hopefully a couple million more people that would find this interesting and want to listen to it.
Can we mention other podcasters or other platforms?
I assume we can, as long as we don't do it in a negative way.
So there's this one that they're big, Think
Media?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he was saying, don't start a podcast thinking of yourself.
Right.
Start a podcast thinking of what people want to listen to.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of families out there that need to hear what we went through.
Right.
I was speaking kind of on the same subject with my daughter, because for some reason she wants to work with people or youth that are, you know, experimenting with cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's not only
cannabis, I think we use
medicinal, but it's like for your soul. You know, it takes you somewhere where you don't want to be.
Right.
I mean, or it takes you out of where you don't want to be emotionally.
Right. Yeah.
I guess, you know, my past affected, you know, my kids obviously, and she wants to help kids or youth that went kind of like through what she went through. She wants to be heard on that subject. So I was telling her that I deal a lot with people that are changing their lives from drug addiction to sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling her that every time I research, you know, from for a rehabilitation program or treatment, I should say, automatically I start visualizing prevention. Yeah. Like prevent drug addiction in the youth.
Yeah.
And it's something that, if we're going to talk about it, we're not only going to speak to the families that went through or are going through, but we could also speak to the families that don't have to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you just said it, you know, if somebody would have talked to you about, you know, certain things like masturbation, you wouldn't feel so heavy burden on your back, thinking you're like the biggest sinner. If somebody would have told you, hey, like, we all went through that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I shouldn't say this. I'm not going to say it. Well, I'm going to make a pause because I'm going to say it for us. But like, where in the Bible does it say don't masturbate?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people, I guess they misinterpret some verses and they say that you ejaculate on the floor.
Right.
But that means when you're having intercourse and you don't want to impregnate, you pull out and you ejaculate on the floor. That doesn't mean or said anything about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things about religion that I kind of, you know, one of the reasons I kind of separated myself from that was that a lot of it is just people's interpretations of things. You know, it's somebody reads it a certain way. Like there was, for example, in the organization that we belong to, you know, I mean, this ring was a bad thing.
Yeah,
right?
That's why I got a plastic one.
Right. It was a bad thing. So what would people do instead of rings? They would wear watches. It's the same
and they
thing,
would cost the same.
You know? But the thing is, and I asked an uncle of mine, why is that? You know, why did this church, this organization have those rules? And he was somebody in the organization. And he said, by somebody, I mean, you know, higher ranked, more involved. And he said, well, you know, our church was founded by people with, I won't even say where they're from because I don't want to be racist, by people who didn't have a lot of education, ignorant in the true sense of the word, right? Lack of knowledge, right? And a lot of it was also jealousy, human nature. They didn't have, you know, they were ignorant. They didn't have a lot of money. And so they saw these people that had jewelry and money, all the stuff that they didn't have and thought they couldn't have. And they were jealous. And so then they're drawn to passages in the Bible that say that it's, more difficult for a rich man to go to heaven than for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. And they take that, literally, and they say, oh, it's not good to be rich, so you shouldn't wear that. So I'm better than that rich person with all that stuff I want.
Yeah, I'm proud of being.
So then, and that was one instance where I was like, oh, okay. So then I started applying that to, it's like, how much of all the stuff we're being taught is rooted, in jealousy and in ignorance and in stuff that they're supposedly preaching against, So, yeah, like I said, I mean, we'll get into
those are the rules, and you just have to abide by.
Right? Yeah, no, I don't do that. That's a kind of my.
Well, then you're in sin.
Yeah, okay.
I have to say that.
My nature.
I just got my audience back.
I mean, I believe like what one politician said is, trust but verify. I'm that way. First, if you're somebody that I trust, that I don't think would steer me wrong, and you tell me something, I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And I'll do my research. And I've actually had people like get upset at me or be offended because, what do you mean you'll do your research? I'm telling you what it is. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do my research. If I didn't trust you, I'd say, whatever. And I wouldn't even take the time to research it, Yeah. But actually, I don't even honestly remember who it was, but I remember that. And, they were offended. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm not going to just follow you blindly. I mean, right now my kids have to listen to me because I say so. Yeah.
Jeans, white shoes, bunk beds.
Right. I mean, and then.
What was that instance where they all suicided? Because it was like a sect?
All right. The cult. Yeah. Sect cult. Yeah. But like I said, I mean, that's not in my nature. I'm naturally inquisitive. I like to research things and make up my own mind. And a lot of people are not like that, unfortunately. And that's another reason why I can't relate. So if I
started like this Christ-based church with different rules, would you go?
I mean, I'd want to support you, but if I don't believe in what you're preaching, I probably wouldn't.
I mean, but like the rules are going to be completely different, but it is going to be Christ based.
Right. Well, that's kind of like the like you said, the root of it. And if I don't agree or believe in the whole Christ foundation of it, I'd feel hypocritical. I mean, I'd help you as much as I could and support you as much as I could, but I probably
like
wouldn't be a part of it.
In another segment in the Spanish version of this, I was wondering or was trying to, make sense in my mind, where would all the teachings we had, because we sat in so many preachings and we sat in so many teachings together, where do they all go? Do you just dismiss them?
No, I mean, obviously all those things, shaped who I am today. They all, impacted me in a certain way. And I basically just separated the religion aspect of it from it. I took all the good things that I thought or that I saw were benefiting me in my life, making me a better person. And yeah, I apply those, and those are not at odds with my way of thinking now. Because being a good person in general is being a good person. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We all agree that, you shouldn't kill, you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't, try to sleep with somebody else's wife. And I mean, unless everybody's in agreement, then I have no problem with that. That's probably, we're going to differ a little bit on that. But I mean, as long as everybody's in agreement and we're not, generating any negative energy.
My eyeglasses got fogged.
And we're not generating any negative energy.
I said fogged. Fog. GED. Fog Day.
Yeah. But, I think we'd all agree that we all kind of have the same idea of what a good person is, or
I think all like Christian-based religions follow like the same principles, different characters, but the same principles. They all want like the better for others and themselves. Buddhism is kind of like,
and that's why I think religion is really just about control. Politicians and
so that's why I'm asking you, like, if I had a non-religious Christian church.
But it when you're preaching that, okay, if in your church you're going to preach that Jesus Christ died for my sins and he's the only way for me to get into heaven, then I don't agree and I'm not a part of it.
Okay. So what if I did it like on a Saturday instead of a Sunday?
Saturday we do podcasts. So so it's kind of at the foundation. If I don't agree with it, then I'd feel hypocritical in being a part of it, and just because like you said, it's we have so much stuff going on, and not to say that wouldn't be worth my energy, because if you asked me to help in another way, I mean, obviously I would, and I'd volunteer my energy or whatever I had to offer to volunteer resources. But I think life is too short, and we should focus on the stuff that we're passionate about and that we really want to do. Yeah. So that's why we're doing this, obviously, and we made the time and we made the effort and the sacrifice to get this nice equipment so that you guys can hear us clearly and see us clearly.
Yes, you could hear our voices clear.
It's not just for me. I don't like. Well, I do like the sound of my voice, but that's not why we got this equipment, because...
no, that's why you got the headphones, so you could...
Yeah, well, and actually, it's good that we had the headphones, because earlier, I don't know if you know it, well, you did notice, obviously, because you were talking and you went away from the microphone, and right away you came back, because you're wearing headphones and you realized...
I couldn't hear myself.
That you couldn't hear yourself anymore. But if you didn't have headphones... If you didn't have headphones, you wouldn't have noticed that. So it's good. We're going to keep the headphones.
So I've been, in radio, like the traditional antenna radios and some web, web radios.
Yeah.
And
webcasts.
So everybody uses the headphones here, and I've never used them. Mm-hmm. And right now, I just found out why they use them.
Yeah.
Up till now. I've been doing this for like almost 4 years.
Right.
Well, granted, it's been 3 because of the pandemic. I've been off the air for about a year.
Right.
But I just now realized why they did it.
Yeah.
And so, but I wear these because of my hats.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually got some of these for him. But he said, I can't wear my hat.
Yeah.
So I had to. So
how am I going to wear the hat on top of this?
So we had to buy him the in-ears. That's why we have different headphones.
But I'm going to tell you something. I've been, doing my research, and I've seen other podcasters wear some of these.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen them. I thought I was going to be the first one.
No.
I was going to say, boom, that's what our audience.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, hippie, Amish.
Or we're back to that.
A jet.
That's been established, I think.
Has it?
Yeah, I think so. But and me, I don't know my next existence. If I had to come back here, I'd hope I'd have enough understanding and recollection of what I lived in this life to be of even more benefit to my fellow man in the next one, to enlighten people and be able to just, because a lot of the stuff I went through, I think I didn't have to go through. If and I love my father dearly. I have a great relationship with him now. It wasn't like that for a long time. But I think and he's, told me as much, if he would have been a little bit more involved, things would have been different. But like I said, I mean, it's water under the bridge. It's, we're good now. More than good now, I'd say. I mean, I think right now our relationship is the best it's ever been. And that makes me happy,
Yeah.
Because there was a time when I thought he wasn't going to meet his grandkids.
And I could relate to that because, like you say, there was a point in my life that my dad and I would just nod heads,
just acknowledge each other, and that's it.
And like it was mutual.
Yeah,
like, I was causing hardship in the family and like on my mom,
right.
so bad that he just didn't want to put up with me, even though I was his son. And I could really understand that now. When I was going through it, it was like, what? I mean, how could you be like that? But in this perspective, from where I'm standing now, I could fully acknowledge his attitude towards me. And again, he was always there.
Yeah.
But just in a distance.
Right.
I mean, I don't think if it weren't for them, I probably, would have been in jail.
Yeah.
Like till this day,
right.
But we don't understand, we don't see it like that when we're going through that. But and I'm gonna be really honest on this because I know you, and I'm glad that you're having that relationship with your dad now, and it really makes me feel good knowing that you guys are bonding, like that, because I know he needs it too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all humans. We all make life decisions, and we don't always know what the outcome is going to be, but you being there for him too is like the best thing you could do, and like you said, as for your grandkids, so I'm really glad that's going
man,
superb,
perfect.
Perfect. Excellent. Excelente. Perfecto.
Excellent.